I think this is like what, my ninth show. This for me is 20 years because nothing is guaranteed. We're not guaranteed I'm going to get a 30 years. We're not guaranteed I'm going to get a 40 years. So for me, this is such a huge milestone. Everything has to be on point, spectacular, and I have to show what, you know, those 70 awards, what those 35, 40 countries that we've toured, what the experiences with different programs, everything from, you know, 1/8 to Twende Kazi to, you know, the Channel O nominations, everything from Clear Cut, the days touring around Africa, you know what I mean, from bus, boda to private jet, you know, I gotta show what all of that has taught me for 2 to 3 hours on a stage. That's how I'm regarding it. So for me, it's life or death. You know what I mean? Like everything my brand has built to, everything that we've been coming to, is coming to a head here. But then also at the same time, it's a huge celebration. I made it back from West Africa. I made it back from, you know, Asia and everywhere that I've been. You know, all those awards, I've made it back from there, bringing it home. So now for me, it's like a coming home story. You know what I mean? And this is how it ends. Like, this is the huge celebration. People are coming to party. People are coming to have fun. You know, so yeah, even you know, my closest friends that I've been talking to are like, we're here to celebrate. You know what I mean? As much as, like, you know, everything's going to be running smoothly, the first and foremost, we're here to celebrate and have a good time. So yeah, man, if you know, if you want to be at the craziest party in town, make sure you guys come down, you know, and have a good time. I think it's a safe spot that we've picked. Thank you to Sheraton for providing such a safe dynamic, you know, whether it comes to the VIPs or everyone else who's coming, you know, the regular folk like me. We're all going to be in the same place, all going to be safe, all going to be taken care of, great security. You know, the place is walled in, really nice. And, you know, a breezy gardens in Sheraton. Who doesn't want to be in a situation like that? It's very central. I'm really looking forward to the experience.
All right. Also to, you know, celebrate NBS Television, NRG, Afromobile, Navcorp, Pepsi, Max, Kampala, Serena Hotel, FlexiPay, Stanbic Bank, Talent Africa, and Hennessy one time again. Thank you so much for being part of this. After this next question, we'll, you know, let questions come.
Failures, had enough hard times, had enough experiences to really inspire the next generation of guys. I believe that we kicked open so many doors, but the problem with kicking open doors is your knee might end up hurting. You know what I mean? So we kicked open so many doors, but it comes at a great cost. And I think the beauty is being able to share that with the people coming up. I think with UNMF and a bunch of things that are happening in the industry right now, there's a huge surge towards how we're going to influence the next generation of artists, how they're going to benefit. And so I think in 20 years, man, I just want to be remembered as a guy, first and foremost, you know, just a Rubaga boy who loved music, loved this country, wanted to explore Uganda, bring that to the people, and one of the best for his family, man. And you know, as Ugandans, everybody's your family.
I like that. I definitely like that. Thank you so much, Navio. And remember, this is 20 years of Navio. We are celebrating the 2nd of September 2023 here at Sheraton Hotel. I hope you will be coming.
But they still love me, so it's okay. So yeah, sorry, as a planned kid, what?
What are your greatest fears, personally and as an artist?
Greatest fears, I don't like past family, I don't really have too many fears. Yeah, family, friends, I fear for other people more than myself. I was raised to be able to handle myself in many situations, so I don't really fear for myself, but yeah, it's just the difference between being a real human being and a role model. Sometimes I think is what's expected of us sometimes as artists is very, very broad, you know, and everybody has a bad day. So yeah, reputation is a big one, just because I represent more than myself. I represent the Ugandan people, I represent my fans, you know, every time I step outside I represent more than myself. So that would be my only fear, but yeah, that's about it.
Okay, yeah, 20 years down the road, what is that one time that you felt like quitting, and why did you feel like that during your 20 years of journey?
marketing. I feel like when they became a shift to everybody going online, that was one of the moments I thought that maybe things are going to be decided by online. You know, before we even understood it, it seemed like, oh, we're going to do this vote for this awards or that awards, or you get into this, or this is now how big you're going to be. When we started getting attached to a number, statistically, I knew that it was going to be difficult for us in Africa. So that's the first time I was like, wow, you have all these great artists who are so amazing at what they do, but if they don't have the stats to back them up, does that really mean that they're not dope artists anymore? I think that for me was one of the biggest things. The shift to online was a moment where I was like, oh wow, you know, so my ability to freestyle and rap and battle and do whatever I do, where does that now rank in this online world where they're like, Navio, you only have 2 followers? You know, I still don't think it's a good way for us to judge acts and artists, because, and even music videos, stuff like that, you know what I mean? It's not a good way to judge artists, because any big artist will walk out on stage, you know, albeit at Diamond Platinums. In Uganda, Joanita Kawalia will walk out on the same stage, and you'll see what the crowd will do. You know what I mean? But she's not about followers, and she's not about music videos and anything like that. So it's very hard to judge artists. That would be one of the times that I thought, you know, it was going to be. But that was also like 15 years ago.
Kale,
I kept going.
Lastly, there's been allegations of your audience being mostly in young kids, school and stuff, and you're doing a concert when kids are coming back for holidays and campus is resuming. Is this proving the fact that that is where your audience lies?
You know what? Me and my team are really bad with calendars. So we usually just do whatever we feel like. I think at this point, whatever date felt good was what we're going to go with. We're saying to ourselves, we need 3 months, 4 months for the build-up, and this seemed to be the perfect date. I don't think when it comes to a 20-year, you can't be very particular about the timing. You have to just do it this is when I started, you know, September 2003, so this is when I have to have my concert. So we weren't very particular about the date, but we did announce the date before any of the other shows that are on the date.
I'm JK, I don't know her from where, but
the legend.
I do many things. First of all, congrats on the 20 years. It's not easy, 20 years, not just in music, but in business. But celebrating 20 years is such a lovely landmark. So a round of applause for Navio. And I remember 20 years ago, 5 young kids came to me and they said they have a song and I had to play it on Jam Agenda. And the very first hip-hop video was All I Wanna Know. We played it 20 years ago on Jam Agenda, the first ever hip-hop video. And with that, I just want to know, is Juliana going to be part of this? Are the boys coming? Is JB, Papito, are they coming for the 20 years? And also, is Peter Mars going to be around? Because Ruckus was such a wonderful, Ruckus was a classic. I think we were just talking here, I think you deserve a documentary. So with Simari, we're going to do a documentary for you for 20 years in the game. And there's so many things that you have done. You know, I don't know if you remember R. Kelly, where you selected among so many, few African rappers to represent the country. You and R. Kelly on the Jam and all these Nigerians. So you've had such a wonderful career. Of course, people saying, oh, you're a planned kid, rich and all that. Yeah, but, you've earned it. You've earned it. It's not that you've had a soft spot or anything. You've earned it. And, being around 20 years and playing the very first song and giving you that platform, I'm grateful for this. And, so we can't wait for the documentary, and big up and massive for the 20 years.
Yeah, man, no. Thanks, guys. Yeah, thanks for the appreciation. Thank you for playing us. If it wasn't for that, celebrating anything at all. So, no, thank you very much for believing us, man. Though you are also a kid, actually. You are also. Yeah, planned on even you. Sorry, while we're on the subject, planned kids, and then there are also international kids. So a lot of the artists that hopefully are going to be able to make it, some of them have to get visas to Uganda even now. Wow. So there are, yeah, a lot of artists and a lot of collaborations that we've done, but we're going to try and get as much as we can into the show. We had the show down from about 130 songs down to now 50 songs, and we're going to cut that down to fit in for the 2 hours, which is maybe about 25 songs. So we're also having a hard time. Please, members of the press, let us know what songs they want to hear. That'll be very instrumental. Also, remember that Stanbic and FlexiPay are doing some giveaways online as well. They're going to be doing huge promotions. A lot of the sponsors up here will be doing promotions on their page as well for giveaways to those die-hard fans of both Navio and the brands that they represent. So I'm looking forward to all of that. But yeah, we're going to have a lot of action. It is 20 years of Navio, so if it's just me alone, which has never happened, be happy. But no, we have a lot of people coming for this, so I'm excited.
Yeah.
All right. I go by the name Crown Boy Timothy Code. I have 2 questions, one for Joquiz and then one for Navio. So we're going to start with Joquiz.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, sir?
Amazing. Thank you.
So we're celebrating Navio, but in a way also celebrating hip hop. Do you know the 5 elements?
Or to partner with people like NBS. What I realized is I've met, minus the ones I've collaborated with, I've met most of my heroes at one point or another. Most of the people internationally that have given me drive. And what I realized on my journeys out there was that actually the biggest wealth that we have in terms of music and culture is right here. So as part of my movement to kind of teach guys, of course I'm imparting knowledge by doing the book, you know, and also it's very humble. It's not, I'm not saying I know it all, but I'm just saying there's a lane that I chose and these are the mistakes I made. This is how you guys can do it better. But also, you know, with doing stuff like the TV show, we get to highlight, explore Uganda. We get to highlight things that make Uganda great. The culture, the people, the food. We just do fun things. And it's such a beautiful country. With each episode, we're not even trying to script it too much. I literally just go to a city and have a blast, and people are really blown away. They're like, wow, we didn't know that about each other. So I think the first thing I wanted to do, you know, and the reason the show came up first is that's what I want to impart on the people, that we are all a unit as Ugandans. When we get that kind of oneness, you're going to see the same thing that we see in Nigeria. They talk about Nigerians being patriots. I want the same kind of thing for us, where you talk about Karamoja and you know more than one. Hey, those guys who jump. No. There's a lot more to their culture, you know, and that is what the TV show and stuff like that is going to be teaching. So I think from a teacher standpoint, that's what I'm going to be focusing my efforts on, you know, getting the show out, getting information out, letting people know that our culture, our people, our truth is just as relevant as anything that they're learning from outside.
Before the next question, I'd like to say, in case you're posting stuff online, use the hashtag 20 years of Navio. The hashtag is 20 years of Navio. All of it, put it together would be great. And also, you know, remember to keep sharing this content from now.
Defeat until right now, had to keep my battles discreet. I'm branded African, hold my eyes as my receipt. African rhythm, see how I bump my head to the beat. They can take me, they can't do nothing about my African fleet. We're original to death. You see how my Africans speak, African speech. Do it with my African tongue. Love breathing African air in these African lungs. African hands, not to mention African grip. African smiles, not to mention African lips. There's more to Africa than how some Africans spit. There's more beauty to be found besides African hips. Even if you came, all you touch is the African tip. Think you piss, wait till you see one of my Africans flip. I'm African, I'll be African till there's no one left. African, right up until my African death.
Yes, sir.